Oh, would you look at that? Twitter says 3-wee craws sat upon a wall. Well, that's not a very engaging tweet at all, is it? Oh, hello there, future man here. So today we're going to be taking a look at 5 tips and tricks for the DJI Osmo Mobile 2, or what I call the gadget, because it's hard to explain to people who don't know what this is, because it's quite a cool little thing. Puts the power of Hollywood right in your pocket. And since the advent of the version 2, this one, they're cheap. So you can get one for $100, and they have version 3 just came out a couple of days ago. Basically the same, except it has this part collapses. But because it's so cheap, I figure 5 tips and tricks might be a good thing, because a lot of people are going to be opening the box with this in it and wondering what the hell to do with this cool gadget. So tip number 1, there, if you hold the power button, you do that real fast. Oh, it kind of goes, and then it goes limp. It goes up and then it goes limp. So tip number 1, if there's no phone in it, it won't turn on. But you knew that already, didn't you? But it's not broken. That's just the way it works. But here's tip number 2. This is actually quite cool. So as I'm sure you know, the Osmo Mobile 2 and the 3 can both be powered with a standard Android cable. You know that one. Micro USB is actually what this is called. Most people might not know that. So you plug that in there to charge it, just like the same as your phone. Very good. But what you might not know is if you take the cable, and look on the back here. What is that thing there? What is this little hole? Oh, we got a big USB hole on there. So we got the wee one on the side to charge it. And we got a big one on the back. I wonder what that's for. So this is pretty cool. If you reverse the cable, put the big end in there, and then put the small end into your phone. This is pretty cool, actually. Like so, and then power it up. Push the power button there. Do you see that? You see my phone went into charging mode there? It's actually pretty cool. So the Osmo Mobile can work as a power bank if you reverse the cable, which is actually pretty cool. Unfortunately, it does have to be on, as you can see the light there. But if you start it with no phone, it's just limp, so you don't really have to risk damaging it. So the next tip for you, and this one is actually, this is one of DJI's problems. I think they need to really get this sorted out. They're trying to, I guess, reduce the size of the app. But if you look on the app on your phone, you'll notice if you do a search for DJI app, there's actually like 5 apps on here. And contrary to popular belief, the app for the Osmo Mobile is not the same app for the drones. So you might have a drone already. A lot of people have drones, the Spark, very affordable drone. It's not the same app. So you have to download 2 apps to get your Osmo Mobile working, which is bloody stupid if you ask me. I'll turn that off for a minute. So if you look for DJI app or DJI app on the App Store, and this is on Android or iOS, you'll see there's actually several apps on here. You see you got DJI Go 4 for drones since P4, DJI Go 4 for products before P4, and DJI Pilot, and DJI Mimo, and DJI Store, and blah, 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 blah. So the one for the Osmo Mobile is actually the second one on here, the one that says for products before the P4. So it sounds like it's an app for old stuff, but it's actually an app for the Osmo Mobile, and it will no work if you download the main app, the one that has the most downloads and installs, the top one, the DJI Go 4 for drones since P4. That one will not work. So you have to download the second app on the list. DJI, can you please settle this out for us? It's quite annoying. Okay, now the next tip on this list is what you do if your horizon gets a wee bit off on your Osmo Mobile. Has been known to happen. If you do a little Googling out there on the forums, you'll see that there's some people that have complained that after a while, perhaps your horizon may get a little cockeyed there. There is a way to fix that as well. So if we go into the app, or we'll go overhead here. If you go into the app, you want to go into the gears icon there while you're connected. And you want to click on the gimbal button there. Do you see that? And then you want to click on auto calibration. And normally when you do this, you want to put on a wee tripod or a big tripod. For the sake of this video, we won't do that. We'll just hold it very still. But you want to use a tripod when you do this. And so what you do is you do that, and then you click, hold it very still, and then you press the start calibration button. And as you can see, it's giving you a little menu there. It says, make sure the handle's upright on a stable surface, the gimbal's free, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all that good stuff. And you hold it steady, you hit confirm, and you give it a wee second. And it does a wee little dance here on the table. There it goes. And oh, it goes up. And there you have it. After you're done with that calibration, your horizon should be all back to where it belongs, so you can go back to getting those cool Hollywood shots. Okay, the next tip here is, what do you do if you have one of these newfangled phones? This one's not that new, but one that has 2 or 3 lenses up there, and one of them is ultra wide angle, and you want to shoot on it, but the view is blocked by the gimbal. Do you see that? You see that stupid thing? It's blocking the gimbal. It's a very poor design on the case of DJI. They need to fix that. But there is a way to remedy this problem of this gimbal here blocking the camera. But for that, we're gonna have to go out in the field. So let's go. So here we are, we're out in the field, and we're using our amazing new pocket gimbal gadget gizmo to take this cool walking shot with our ultra wide angle lens. The only problem is we got that stupid thing blocking the side of our screen. And what you could do about it, because you got this thing sticking out the back of the gimbal, and you can't cut it off, obviously, it's part of the gizmo. What are you going to do? So I have found one solution to make this gimbal work with your awesome new ultra wide angle phone, get those cool shots, and that is to use it in what they call flashlight mode. So you want to do is you hold it down like that, and then you want to very slowly angle it back up, and there you have it. You have the super cool shot, ultra wide angle, without that stupid thing in the way. Smooth as haggis right there. And it almost kind of looks cooler, you know, it's like in the movies, the cool bad guys always hold their guns to the side, you know, blah, 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 like that. So it kind of looks cool. Although you kind of see the screen as well, it kind of gets blocked. So now we switch the camera down, you can see it's facing me. We've got this cool, you know, selfie shot of me walking around, talking, typical blogger stuff. And if I was going to do a cool Snapchat ready sideways video, I can turn that screw, take me 10 minutes to get that set up, or there's a much easier way to do it, which is you just hold that sideways like that. And look at that now, I'm totally rocking the fancy video there. Here, we'll record this so we can put this in later. So now we are in cool Snapchat mode. So, you know, those videos that no one likes, but they make up 50% of the social media world. Now you can do it. Look at me, I'm walking down the road, I'm so cool. I got my video all sideways like that. And then if you want to go back, all you do is turn it like that. Easy peasy, Japanesey. And you can actually go the other way too. Both ways. So it'll lock into the side orientation. No matter what you do, it goes back. And that is much easier than undoing that screw on the back and turning it around. So there you have it. Next tip. And so now for the next tip here. One of the coolest features of the Osmo Mobile series is it's really the easiest device to get super cool hyperlapses. A hyperlapse is a walking time lapse. And so if you go into the video menu there, so if you go into the menu there, click that little normal button, and then these options come up, the normal video or photos, motion time lapse, that's cool, hyperlapse, or regular time lapse. Hyperlapse is the coolest one. It's the only way you can get it on this device. But there's one problem I found, which is if you do a super long hyperlapse, it tends to drift side to side as you're walking. So I've done hyperlapses that were like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you start in straight orientation. By the time you're done, you're facing sideways. So the best way I found to fix this is normally you do a hyperlapse, you keep it in locked mode. So you know about this already, but I'll show you again. This button here will change the mode, the way it works. So this is lock mode right here. This is normally how you do a hyperlapse. It stays absolutely completely straight. It won't turn. And then the next mode is tracking mode. And I think there's one more mode? No, that's it. Okay, so tracking and then lock mode. Normally you do it in locked mode, the hyperlapse, but I found that it drifts, like I said. So what you want to do is just keep it in tracking mode, and then kind of keep it generally where you want to go. And that way you can correct for the problem in drift. And after doing a wee bit of Googling around, I've actually seen this is a fairly common problem. And there you have it, the end of that tip. How to create the best, super cool, awesome hyperlapses with your DJI Osmo Mobile 1, 2, or 3 without all of that annoying drift and being able to go around corners too. Okay, and we're back from the park. And there you have it. 5 tips and tricks for your fancy new mechanical phone gizmo thingy. The DJI Osmo Mobile 1, 2, or 3, as you know it. But for everyone else who's not in the know, we'll just call this the gizmo. 5 tips and tricks to make sure you get the coolest shots you can. Okay, until next time, bye.